Well, I just saw Warcraft. As I told you before, I was going to do a movie that has gotten I gotta say, very interesting reviews from a lot of professional critics. And I want to just go on record here saying that video game adaptations almost never really worked. And a lot of the reasons is because it's almost impossible to give a reliable script based on a game that really don't have uh, a script to begin with. I'll take a perfect example of Mario Brothers, the movie. It was doomed from the start. A lot of the things that they was doing was making up on the fly. Nothing resembled Mario Brothers. They was trying to make it apocalyptic. And if you played Mario, like a lot of people have, you know that the game really was basic. You go to point A, point B, save the princess from the Goombas, from Koopa. It really didn't have much in between. The best chance we probably had in terms of video game adaptation that really should have succeeded, but somehow it managed to be one of the worst successful series out there is Resident Evil. They went a totally different direction, and it pretty much have two different fans: those who are loyal to the video games, whether you are the survival horror type or the military games of late, or just a diehard of the movies, which they are fans of the movie. But either way you see it, there's a whole truckload of video game adaptation to movies that just fall so short that you're kind of wondering, did Hollywood even try? Ugubo is notorious for this. His resume in terms of adapting video games into movies is out there, and it just how he does it is just off the wall bad. That is actually even comical in some ways. And that's the thing about what I see about movies that are coming out now. Gretchen and Crank, nobody cared for it. From what I understand, it was just one of those things that if you play the video game, you already saw the movie. In fact, many people said that the video game is the movie, and they just added extra features from the movie that wasn't in the video game because they rebooted the series, and that's pretty much what it's supposedly based upon. So Warcraft came along. I saw the trailer early on, like months ago, and I said before, even doing my J&J Monday video recording, that it didn't felt like they gave me anything new to show for. I've seen this story before, so what's the point of actually watching this film? But I knew I was going to watch this film because, one, I got the game. I played the game, and I was intrigued by the game to no ends. And I was actually really intrigued by the storylines, how they actually know how to do the bait and switch. The good guy became the bad guy all of a sudden. And it really does show moral code, honor, and basically, even surprisingly, the sacrifice in order to bring peace. So I felt like this: if I didn't see any of that here, what's the real reason why I'm going to waste my time watching a 2 hour and a half film? Especially if they're going to water it down to get a PG-13 rating. Well, it is PG-13, I can tell you that, but it's not watered down. I'm just going to go on record of saying I actually really, really enjoyed this movie. And to the point where I kind of say that the wrong people who watched this film have given it a bad review. Like I said before, I'm very fair when it comes to my reviews. I'll give you the reason why I like and what I don't like. I'll call a bad movie for what it is, a bad movie. Even those who are bad but pretty entertaining, I'll explain why I had a little entertain here. I enjoyed this film. It's not a perfect film. The CGI sometimes be clunky, but for the most part, I cannot, without a straight face, and tell you that if you are a die-hard Warcraft fan, there is no way in hell you can sit there and say they didn't stay faithful to what Warcraft is. In fact, I'd be surprised if you didn't like it because it was too faithful. The film really was a surprisingly welcome to me. I was enjoying the action scenes. I was enjoying the conflict that the orcs has, even the humans have, and the end results. Now, I'm gonna be very straightforward here because this movie is not doing well at all in the box office. Like I said before, it's doing tremendously well in Japan, but it doesn't surprise me considering the audience that is being targeted here. And even though the game here is big here in the United States, it's not as big as it is in overseas. There are people who rent video game cafes for days just to play this. That's beyond dedication. There's actually reports, sadly, that people actually die playing 18, 20, 40 hours of Warcraft. I can't do that. I gotta turn off the game. I gotta get some sleep. I gotta go to work. I don't know how they do that. But there have been cases of people doing that at the risk of their own health. So I can tell you, when I hear the numbers of Japan, I can tell you that it is legitimate, because guess what? There are huge, die-hard fans out there who loves this gaming franchise. They really did wonders. Blizzard has a fan base in Japan, and these are the people who go on out and support this movie. Sadly, this because we have other PC games that are out there, Warcraft seems to be pushed to the side. It's still popular in some areas, but not as popular as it once was when it came out years ago. And this is the whole thing. Those who are watching this movie is like myself, have either played the game or is a huge diehard fan of Warcraft. Average moviegoers are not going to see this movie. That's just the fact here. It's also one of the reasons why I was kind of surprised they are picking it out this year, even though it has really no real competition against it. It's a game that really only speaks to the diehard in the U.S. And unfortunately, that's a very small few. And again, I'll say this right off the bat. If I haven't got the game, I got Warcraft. I played Warcraft. I probably wouldn't see Warcraft. But I was very curious because, again, I want to see a good adaptation. Again, I'm saying it wrong. I want to see a good adaptation of a video game turned into the movies. We haven't gotten that in years. Even with the animation of Ratchet and Clank, that dropped the ball. So I really was hoping that this would break the streak. And I got news for you. It broke the streak in terms of bad games. This is not one of them. This is a good movie. I really enjoy it. And this is an origin story. It really is, because at first I didn't know what it was going to be about, but it was an origin story of how the orcs came into the human world, how much the evils that was threatening to destroy the existence of the orcs as well as the human race, and how they was trying, and what the end result is, which is very dark, very bittersweet, very dim, and it left us with a cliffhanger that unfortunately, unless they plan to continue it on DVD, we probably won't ever see it in theaters. It's sad, really, because I was really into this movie. I will admit, I was more into the orc story because it was very fascinating. Their code of honor, their code of conduct, why they choose to do what they do. I was very interested in seeing their reasoning why they was there. It was pretty much what you expect when anytime a group of people who doesn't have a home or their home is destroyed has to, basically relocate. And that's the situation here. You have conflict where this land they want to claim, and they have to claim it towards people who's already there. It's a very typical story, but it's done so well that I was actually interested in seeing how the end result was. You have a half-breed who was in conflict. It's a love story, but never really gotten fully into that situation. And you had the king, who is actually a good king. I actually enjoyed seeing this king. He's trying to unite the world, and the world just don't want to unite. He's trying to unite the elves. He's trying to unite the dwarves. He's trying to unite all these people, and yet they're fighting among themselves that they don't realize the true threat that is on right before them. You have betrayal here, which I'm gonna admit I didn't see at first, but as the film go on, it made better sense this way, especially how he was acting towards another mage, a mage who pretty much, a little bit of spoiler here, had not lost his way, but pretty much turned his back on it, only to find out that he was destined to be a mage anyway. But he did it so good, and I gotta tell you, I didn't see Angry Joe's review yet, but I almost swore that was a younger version of Joe Vargas. I really thought it was. I was like, wow, he really does look like Angry Joe for a minute there. I had to really snap my fingers. But again, the movie really kept me interested from the beginning to end, and that's what you can have here. The orcs design was well done. I was blown away by this world they have created for this film. And again, and the strong point about this film is there wasn't no half-assing it. This film really did its best. There was effort put in this movie. There was commitment put in this movie, and I gotta applaud Blizzard and everybody involved, Legendary Studios, Universal, for actually giving us a faithful adaptation. I'm gonna say adaptation because I'm trying to put adaptation and it's not working here. But you guys know what I mean. A very very good, faithful film that is based on a game. What's the problem with this movie? I really think the CGI, there was when it was in movement, when the interaction with humans and the orcs was finally put into play. I think that was when the CGI started to get a little clunky. That was the whole thing about it. The film could have been trimmed down just a little bit. That's definitely for sure. I think this is something that it fell into. Same thing with Planet of the Apes to an extent. I was more interested in the orcs than I was with the humans. I think that was the real thing. The orc story was 10 times more engaging than the human story was. Not to say that the actors were bad. I thought they were fine. I just thought that there was more development around the orcs. Why their creed, the way of life, how they communicate with each other, what they felt about each other. Their code of honor. I thought there was more better development towards that side than I thought it was with the humans. Again, that's not to say that they're not one did bad. I was really engaged in the film. I was engaged with the father and son of storyline and how that resolved. I was engaged of the queen who happens to be the sister. I was really engaged with the king, but I wasn't as invested with them as it was with the orcs. Every time when the orcs comes in, I'm really focusing on their side of the story, their point of view, what they're doing, and why they're doing. I was very very impressed. Again, the ending. Again, not spoiling anything is bittersweet. And you know what? That made the film even more stronger in my opinion, because there was no real resolve. And again, you can sort of like bait for a sequel all you want. To me, it had a beginning, middle, and end. But yeah, there was that that stinger, that post prelogue tell you that this is just the beginning. This is an origin story, guys, and I gotta tell you, if for diehard fans, they're gonna enjoy this film. I thought this was a very, very good film, and to my opinion, and I know it's just only my opinion, but to me, this broke a long overdue curse that has been plaguing video games, whether it's a PC or arcade or pretty much home consoles for years, and that is it can't be put into good movies. It can if there is dedication, if there is a good writing team, if there is a good effects team that can actually blend it together and give us a film. This is not a Lord of the Rings film. This is not Games of Thrones. It didn't need to be. And again, this is the one time I actually questioned should they actually gave this film an R. They did a great job of making you feel the pain in this movie. This movie is strong with that, man. Wow, I felt every bone crushing. I felt pretty much every death, and I'm saying, gee, I wonder if there was actual blood in this movie, would this film actually would have gotten an R rating? Because they really did push it. I mean, they really did push the PG-13. This was the PG-13 that you kind of want to see more of. And if you're gonna make it PG-13, and you want to, you want to to the hardcore fans, you gotta at least make an effort that you're trying to be, you're trying to have grit where that audience will feel it. This is the problem with a lot of action films. A lot of action films, they hold back that grit, making the film more watered down than what it is. This film wasn't watered down. This film was very, 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 very dark, and I really give the applaud for a little, keeping the PG-13, but making it that, basically making it where they're trying to cater to the younger audience. Because to be truthful, this is not a young audience game. It really isn't. If you play the game like I have, this is really for the your older teens or adults who are 20 to 35 category, and to me they really did capture that. It's a shame that this film is not doing well in the United States. It really is. But again, this is for the hardcore. I mean, if I haven't, I'll be honest with you, if I haven't played the game myself, I probably wouldn't have watched this movie because one. I probably would never heard of it. I heard of Warcraft through South Park, but it was until I played it where I actually got intrigued by it. There are people who 10 times better than me. I don't have that skill to press my keyboard like a madman, but I enjoy playing it as my own little offline campaign and enjoy it. And if I'm in the cafe, I'll go in online and play with others. Granted, we're losing all the time, but it's still an enjoyable game. But that's lies the problem. General audiences is not going to flock in and spend um, $12 to $15, even $19 for this movie because to them, this is nothing more than a typical video game movie, and it's nothing more than a typical B-rated film that they don't feel that's worth their time and energy for. I kind of wish they would reconsider, or at least give it a chance. Look at it as a matinee. But that doesn't seem highly unlikely because I understand it even broke the top five. I won't know until I do a J and J episode what it is because that's when we do the official top five, and by then this movie this will be already be posted. But to me, I really did felt that they did a tremendously good job with this movie. I was very, very impressed because, as you heard, remember my last time I talked about this, I said it doesn't look like it's going to impress me. It looked like it's going to give me the same old story I felt all over again. No, this was unpredictable. Right down to that last act, I didn't know what to expect after that. I mean, I was surprised at the decisions that they made in this film, and in the end, I was like, "Just bravo." It wasn't predictable at all. So again, kudos for that. I honestly don't know what the critics want from this movie. I honestly don't. I don't know what the professional critics was expecting. I don't know why it's gotten the reviews that they have. My only beef is that the people who are watching it was a are not really fans of this genre, and no matter if the film is even good or respectable towards the source material, they're just gonna give it a bad rating because a they don't care for this genre, and b it's not a J or Tolkien or other people who they respect and admire and look at as philosophers. And that's unfortunate because to me, it only shows that certain critics shouldn't be reviewing films if they're not going to be open-minded about it. Not every film needs to be Shakespeare. Not every film needs to be Academy Award nominee. Not every film must have a poetic, symbolic message. There are some films that are meant to be watched for just good old popcorn fun. This is a good old popcorn fun film for me. I don't regret watching this film at all. I'm going to watch it again. That's how fun it is before this film gets pulled out there. I'm gonna go to the theater again and watch it. That's how enjoyable I was. I had fun. I really was enjoying myself with this film. This is a 3-star film on a scale of 1 to 4. This 3-star film. I really, really hope that the fans of this genre at least talk about, give it a word of mouth. And I hope that, from what I understand, actually the internet reviewers are more fairer to this movie than I think the critics are. And that says a lot. So I'm hoping that the internet critics, like DoubleToasted.com, Angry Joe, who I understand has also seen it. I hope Doug Walker talks about it if he actually likes it, give down his opinion. Jeremy Johns. I hope they actually give a strong voice to a movie that really do deserve, if anything else, a matinee screening. I really feel that people should really look at it and not pay attention to the harsh criticism that a lot of the critics have. Go out there and make up your own mind. See it for yourself. Again, I never really tell people don't see this movie, even the bad ones, because I know what I didn't like, another person may actually enjoy. So, for me, if you're holding back because the critic is saying it or you have some kind of a prejudice, towards films that are actually based on video games. Give this one a chance. I really do think that it deserves it. I think if anything else, if you're just looking to have fun and eat popcorn and basically and just have a good time, this film is worth it. I really do. Well, that's it for now. I'm going to give you that. And again, I'm not going to go too deep into detail because I'm actually trying to keep things spoil free with fresh movies. But until next time, guys, if you liked it, didn't like it, let me know in the comment section below. Until next time, it's Jason saying take care, be safe. I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.